Have you ever almost given up learning something because at first it felt awkward and difficult? Remember the feeling of satisfaction when you finally mastered it? And what does this have to do with an app called mmhmm you can use to stand out from the crowd? Hello, I'm Joe Kwan, the Connection Counselor. My goal is to help you connect better to others to maximize your success. I'll be honest, even though I consider myself fairly computer savvy, when I first started using mmhmm, it felt foreign and strange. I'm glad I stuck with it though, because this app has some serious superpowers. mmhmm is a video presentation app that makes you more engaging on video calls and recordings. I use it anytime I want to stand out and make an impression. So I was excited when mmhmm engaged me to create a series of videos to share how I use mmhmm to make a bigger impact in my work. Today, I'm going to show you the 3 foundational layers of mmhmm: the background layer, the presentation layer, and the media layer. mmhmm allows you fine-tuned control over all these layers, right at your fingertips and in real time. In just a moment, I'm going to disappear so you can see the screen in mmhmm Desktop as if you were using it for the first time. From there, I'll walk you through each layer with examples of how to control and modify each to create maximum impact for your audience. So here you can see there's a background section where we have all sorts of different backgrounds you can select. I've started out with black just to make it easier so you can see the background. And now we've selected a sort of living area with some nice furniture. You can show up in front of that, or you can do something a little bit funkier where you're in space. And mmhmm has a lot of great stock backgrounds. If you see the astronaut floating around back there, you can actually do a cool thing I'll show you later where your head shows up in there. You can do something abstract if you want something that doesn't draw too much attention away from the presenter. And there's lots of cool little details. If you see on the left, the curtain is slightly moving. There's really great things you can do with the backgrounds here. And there's lots of different types of backgrounds that mmhmm Desktop has prepared for you already. So we're looking through some serious backgrounds. So this is probably better for a professional type setting. I think one of the favorites right there is fireside chat, right? So you could have like a little talk with some speakers in front of the fire. Let's see what else they have. They have some fun options too, right? So it's not all work and no play. There's some really whimsical and fun options. There's some inspirational type options with pictures of nature. There's abstract options if you want to go just a little bit more abstract. And there's holiday cheer, right? To celebrate different holidays. You can show up with a different one. And if you prefer just a plain color, you can go with different color options as well. Now let's take a look at what we can do with presenters. So if you see here, you can open up the camera and look, now a presenter will appear. There I am, and you can do lots of things with yourself as the presenter. With this slider, you can very easily change the size that you appear on the screen. And notice this is all happening real time. You can make yourself even smaller. Maybe I want to place myself, let's say, on the mantle of the fireplace for whatever reason in the presentation. I can easily do that. There's other backgrounds you can use to complement your size as a presenter. So you can do other cool things like you can fade in and out, right? So I'm in space and all of a sudden I got beamed somewhere and I disappeared, and you can bring yourself back in. All this just by moving that little slider. You can change your orientation with these buttons as the presenter. And it's very easy once you get used to this to even do this live during a presentation, or you can set this up ahead of time to show up the way you want it to when you get to each particular slide. So now I'm back, right side up again. There's also some pretty cool effects you can do for the presenter. You can move into black and white. Let's see what else they have. You can be pixelated, right? So I look like something giving some testimony, secret testimony. You can look more complimentary, a little beauty filter there, I believe. You can look like you're in a handheld game. I'm glitching out here because I don't know why, but you can do sort of a glitch out effect for those sad presentations. You can have sort of a rain effect, and also love this one, the classic old film effect. So as you can see, there's lots of really amazing options right at your fingertips. All you have to do is select the one that you want. And again, there's lots of different backgrounds you can use to complement them. So I'm going to go with this standard boardroom background and going to show you this big hands effect here. So if you put your hands into certain formations, the software notices what you're doing and creates this kind of big foam hand like at a sporting event effect, which is kind of cool. And you can even prompt people to call you with a hand call signal. So I'm going to turn those off so it doesn't happen. So last but not least, we're going to go to the media layer and show how you can do some pretty cool things with different types of media in the background. And here you can see I've positioned myself a little bit to the side. You can add text. So you can, just by hitting that button up there, you can type text in this text box. So one of my favorite topics is executive presence. So I can put that there, and you can actually modify the position of where that shows up quite easily. I can put it over my head. I can put it over the shoulder. And there's different options in terms of the size you want it to be. So I can make it widescreen. So now this is spanning the whole entire area. Generally, square is good if you want to make it a little bit smaller and move it around. So now from here, I can choose even more effects if I want. This looks nice and clean, but maybe I want to try something just a little bit different. So by hitting this edit button, I can pick different styles of text. So this is a billboard text, which is a little bit more bold. I can even change the way the background and the font appears. That looks pretty nice. It looks pretty executive to have that kind of slightly transparent effect. I can pick a glossy type effect, which is pretty nice and modern looking as well. Let's see what else they have here. I can go with something a little bit more transparent, and it doesn't always have to be white lettering. You can go with black lettering and a white background. It all depends on your style and how you want things to appear, but lots of functionality. You could go something with a little bit more classic and traditional, which kind of makes sense for a topic like executive presence. And then there are some pretty innovative and cool backgrounds like this one, which has sort of a moving clouds or different things in the background to give it a real dynamic effect. And like with everything else in there's a little bit of customization you can do, so you can make it seem like this fire is moving around in the background of executive presence. I really like this effect just in general. It's pretty eye-catching. It's very easy to do, but it looks like you paid a graphic designer a ton of money to do it. So you can see just by using these buttons up here, you have access to add images, and you can pick an image to add as well. So I'm going to pick this hurdle image. And again, look at this. If it's too big, I can adapt it. I can change it. I can make it smaller. I can move it up. And yeah, you can just switch between slides, right? So you can have, oh, I want to make it a little bit bigger to match the executive presence text. And then when I go to the next slide, oh, look at that. You have hurdle number 1 for executive presence. So it really allows you to set up a nice sequence of slides or media in the background that goes along with your presentation. And you're not just limited to static, you can also pick video. So let's say I wanted to give an example of something that happened to me while I was giving a presentation. I could actually import a video of myself presenting and talk about what happened when I was at Fort Lee High School, and most of the high school students when I arrived were asleep, and I really had to use a lot of executive presence to get them engaged and get them listening to the content so they could learn. Here is where we're going to do some pretty cool stuff. So now we can change the background to something that actually has an area for a video to sit. I can move myself to the side so I can clear the area. And then just by a little bit of tweaking, and sometimes it takes a little bit of work. I remember when I was recording and practicing this, it took quite a while to get this exactly where I wanted it to be, but I think you get the idea that it's really customizable. You can make things fit in different spaces. So now when all this is said and done, and you get it to the fit and finish that you like, you'll have a video of yourself just playing in the classroom. So I can go back and I can say hurdle number 1 is getting people engaged, and then I move to the next slide and I show an example of when that happened. So really, really powerful stuff. I haven't really seen any other software that allows you to do this so quickly, so easily. And last but not least, look at this, Giphies. Everybody loves GIFs or GIFs. I can never tell how to pronounce them. And then you can add something like that, and you can fit that somewhere if you want to too, or if you just have a regular background, you can just throw the GIF up anywhere you want. And that will just keep on repeating as you're presenting, and it's a really cool effect. I hope this has been helpful to you. Again, there's a cool effect where you can actually put yourself inside of helmets or different areas. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments below, or you can reach me at email at joe@connectioncounselor.com. Left my number there for you as well. If you want to take a look at my website, you can find additional materials and also resources there on executive presence and a lot of other connection principles that I teach. My name is Joe Kwan, the Connection Counselor. Hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. Remember, you can change your life one connection at a time.